episode of Back and Forward. I am Vlad St. Valentine. Sitting next to me is Mr. Joseph Bone. What's going on, brother?
I'm not. What? You distracted me here. Yes, I'm good. Yes.
Okay, yeah, you're doing good. Strike one. So
strike one.
all
of the strike ones.
I was saying before we started this, we're gonna see if Joey can make it through before he turns into a raving fucking lunatic because he just drank a bottle of whiskey.
Not all of it.
I'm gonna give him 3 strikes before I just call it and we cut this off. So
I like where this is going.
before it devolves into absolute madness.
This would be fun.
So we're doing Maximum Carnage Part 4. And where we last left off, we had Eddie Brock falling in through Peter Parker's, falling on his doorstep, half beaten with the symbiote kind of falling off of him. And that was our cliffhanger for that scene. But we start this off with Carney and pals, Carnage and his friends breaking into a warehouse that Shriek knows about. That's where they keep like the props for rock concerts and stuff like that.
Rock concerts, yeah.
So it's going to be their base of operations for like 2 panels before they destroy it.
Yeah, they already broke the place when they showed up.
Yeah,
first and foremost, they broke the place coming into the place.
Yeah, they just tore a hole in the wall.
Which shows their complete lack of really concern for said
No,
place.
they weren't going to build a bat cave and shit and put up like a computer and like start analyzing shit.
Right. Yeah. They weren't going to put any effort into it.
It's just a place to take power naps, eat a bag of chips between killing people,
It's like, hey, let's hang out here. Or go back out and murder some more. Yeah, that's all it was.
You go back, you take a quick power nap, eat some Subway, play a little foosball, then go out and keep killing.
Hey, this is where we got some Earl Grey tea.
Yeah.
We're going to have some Earl Grey. Make it so. And then from there, we're going to go out and murder some more.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's how it goes. That's.
Are you Alex Kurtzman? We just get a monologue with Carnage in this opening scene with him basically saying he's going to teach the world about chaos, which, plays on what we were saying earlier. He's just more violent Joker, really. He's Marvel's agent of chaos, pure chaos.
Right.
One who's capable of just about anything. And when they get loose, it's an epic, horrific nightmare. And he's the closest thing they have to the Joker.
He really is, because like before he didn't really specify so much as like, I want to commit chaos, quote unquote. But like in this one, he definitely did.
He's like, let's go kill some more people and we'll give them a lesson in chaos.
Yeah,
chaos is the new future and we're going to just, tear things down.
Yeah, absolutely. And that, I get it now because I didn't get it before. Before I'm like, the body count was more like just a numbers game for Marvel. Yeah. But like after this, it's like, okay, well, it's not so much the case. I forgot where I was going with this.
He's got a point in that he's, wanting to tear things down, cause fear, cause chaos, cause panic. Yeah, the body count has a purpose.
Right.
At least in so much as he is trying to cause that chaos, cause that panic, cause that fear, as I said.
Right. And it's interesting that he found enough people to be willing to do that with him as well.
Yeah, and we get, the next follower.
Shriek and Doppelganger, and then
here we get the next part. Shriek, comments on the smell of sulfur. And,
right.
We get, our introduction to Demogoblin, he's lurking on the outside.
Who was already hanging out like earlier because he was hunting the demo.
He was following him, because they have a mental connection because they used to be partners or something.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah. I don't know what that was about, but like
I haven't read those.
I guess apparently at one point they worked together and now they don't anymore, but he's still like hunting him.
Well, he's following them and tracking them because he thinks that, Carnage and Shrink are especially evil and they are especially worthy of being drugged down to hell. And he seems to be able to fight him off. He can burn that symbiote off relatively easy.
Because Carnage tried to shoot him with it. And he's like, nah, no thank you.
Yeah. He seems to be able to hold his own against all of them. But we're getting ahead of ourselves because before that happens, we cut back to, Eddie Brock, who's basically dying on
Peter Parker's doorstep.
And MJ's like, get him the hell out of here or get it out of here. She doesn't even think of him as a person because he's a murderous psychopath who tried to, dedicate his life to killing Peter. So Peter's like, he's in no state to do anything to anyone. He's here for help. She's like, you can't even stop being Spider-Man for 5 seconds. And, she storms out and she thinks, she's got no family here outside of Peter. She's just got no one to go to. And this is what we were talking about last time, that Peter's family is falling apart while Carnage is building
together. Yes.
And this is a scene showing this, and we get a mirror scene later on with Peter, a couple of panels later on. We get the mirror scene where, Mary Jane is like, I don't know if anyone to go to. I have no one. She's very isolated. And the person she loves the most, Peter, she can't go to.
So she goes to Aunt May.
Later on. But before that, we get a kind of the mirrored scene where Peter, after he leaves Venom in his apartment
Peter,
and he goes to get away, he's lonely and doesn't have anyone to go to because the only one he would count on is, MJ, and he can't go to her right now.
So he goes to Felicia Harding, which
is
Black
weird
Cat.
that he didn't think about Aunt May before thinking about that. But again, the issues are who he is as a superhero. So I guess it does make sense because he can't really go talk to Aunt May about that. Those aren't the issues he's having. Take that back. Sorry, I retract. Right. He needs someone who can understand the issues he's having with trying to balance his home life with the secret identity. So he goes to a chick he used to have a romantic fling with while he's on the outs with his girlfriend, which is always a good idea.
Always.
Idiot.
Hashtag fling with not your girlfriend.
Hashtag we were on a break.
So anyway, he meets up with Felicia Hardy.
Yeah, but it's that again later on. But I'm simply saying before we get to those points, we do see that just that mirror scene, them both feeling lonely and not knowing where to go.
Right, because they were both in that state because they didn't want to go to each other.
But the point is they can't really go to each other with the problem because the problem is with, MJ has a problem with him being Spider-Man. He's got the problem with, his love life with her, but he can't give up the responsibility of who he is.
Right. Yeah. Who can he talk to about being Spider-Man without compromising his personal relationship with MJ?
Which is not even what he talks to her about.
Not at all.
Because, all right, so we're getting way ahead of ourselves. After MJ storms out, Spider-Man's there with Venom, and Venom, this is the Venom I love, the still angry, violent Venom, rocking the mullet, who talks in the we, like, we are going to heal, and then we will go out and, kill him. And then Spider-Man's like, you mean like you and your symbiote, or me and you? Like, what do you mean we? And,
right. Because he had that issue.
Like, and then I don't know if you mean, he's like, he just rolls over. He didn't even respond. He just rolls over and like falls asleep on his couch and totally man on the couch.
Right. I really enjoyed that scene too, because like, what do you mean by we? Like you and me, or you and your symbiote? Like, who is we?
Who's we here?
Yeah. I like the who is we.
They didn't really play up his humor there in snarkiness, because there's like later on when he does talk to Felicia and she's like, she advises him like, no, there's no question about it. We go help Venom take down Carnage. Because that's what he's asking about. It's like,
right.
Should I help?
She wants to jump in and like straight up like, we got to stop this.
Well, it's not what we're saying. It's like, it wasn't the MJ stuff. At this point in time, we know Venom now as Venom has been very much redeemed, but early on he was, he was a very big enemy for Spider-Man. There was
right. And
he'd only teamed with him once before to pretty much, I think, to stop Carnage the first time around.
Right.
They're not fans of each other, to be sure. And, Eddie will murder people, and, Spider-Man's completely against that stuff. So again, sees him as a murdering sociopath. And he's having a big moral quandary with it, but it's kind of like one of those, like, dude, he's here to stop the guy who's literally out there slayed 80 people. Like, now's not the time to, like, who's the one killing people? Eddie Brock hadn't killed anybody since he's been here.
Nobody.
Carnage just killed 80. He's trying to stop him. Like, it seems unnecessary, but again, we're also looking at through the lens of years of knowing Eddie Brock now and who he's become and who he is as a character. Right. Whereas back then he hadn't quite been redeemed. This was starting. This was the beginning of that path.
So this is like, do you want to trust Eddie Brock to go through with this plan, or leave him where he is and go on and try and stop Carnage by yourself?
Which
that's where
never
going
to work.
No, he would not.
And he's got cracked ribs. Yeah,
because at that point it's like 3 against 1. Yeah, with broken ribs, so he doesn't have a choice. Like he really has no option.
So yeah, Black Cat's like, we go help him, and she takes off, and Spider-Man's still in the moral quandary, and she's like, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And
yeah.
He's like, well, she doesn't have any special powers. She's over her head against, Carnage. I need to go make sure she doesn't get hurt. And he's like, yeah, Peter, tell yourself that's why you're doing this.
Yeah. He tells himself that's why he's doing it, because that's the only reason to keep him involved.
He's got a responsibility for it. He shouldn't have this moral quandary. I know it's hurting MJ, and I'm sorry for MJ. I'm sorry she has to worry about that. But she chose to love a man who has a very unique gift and has chosen to use that gift for the betterment of mankind. And with his moral code,
even whenever it's like his own detriment, for that matter, because
he believes with his moral code, with great power comes with great responsibility. It's the motto for Spider-Man.
It is. Yeah, it really is.
So anyone who loves him is going to have to
deal with
that
comes with it. Yeah.
Which ultimately MJ is able to do, which is why she's kind of an incredible character, because she's a very powerful woman in her own right who is able to deal with these emotional things and still give the love and be very strong and deal with all the physical things that come with it, the attacks and stuff.
And not to get too far ahead, but it's also why I like respect her so much, because she can realize that point where she's like, this is too much. I'm going to walk away because I know for a fact this is too much for me.
Mm-hmm.
And as such, she leaves,
mm-hmm.
which is something that I don't expect would ever happen to a Spider-Man comic, really, honestly, because like everyone knows what he's going through and how much he's always up against the ropes. It's always like 2 against 1 in a sense when it comes to Spider-Man. And so like MJ being like,
you mean the villain in his personal life?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so like as such, MJ going, listen, I can't do this. I'm going to leave. Like that kind of strength it takes to walk away, knowing what you're walking away from.
Well, she's like, I'm not going to let you kill yourself. You know, but who else is going to stop Carnage? He's out there just slaughtering people. And
that's the cool thing for me is like, she's willing to realize,
but she's also being a little selfish.
A little bit, but she also knows what's best for her. It's like, you know what? This is not good for me.
She just doesn't want to see him die. And I think she probably sacrificed the world to not see him die.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Doesn't matter what the body count is. If the body count doesn't include him, she's okay with it in some sense.
Yes. And it's like, that's different because, sometimes like the way they write things, sometimes they'll be like, stick with the guy, period, regardless of how much is going on or what's happening or whatever.
No, but her walking out is
in her case, her walking out is like, you know what? I'm strong enough to know that this is not for me.
But the first thing she goes in is to, Aunt May.
She goes to Aunt May.
This is a point in time when the Peter Parker's parents had come back to life. And I don't even think it was actually them. I think it might've been some like aliens or I forgot how that played out.
That's not the Peter Parker I know. So
they showed up a few issues before this.
Recently, like fairly recently before.
Yeah. And I'm not sure what the story was with that or how it plays out later on, but I don't think it's actually them.
I doubt it.
I don't recall.
I bet they're Skrulls.
Probably. Yeah. They didn't catch on that the dead people came back to life.
Yeah. The bed. Yeah.
Thomas and Martha Wayne show back up. Like, no, we're fine.
I was trying to make a joke for
Batman's like, my whole life's a lie.
My whole life's a lie. My parents are alive along with Peter Parker's parents.
I'm happy now. I don't need this bullshit.
They're playing shuffleboard.
So the panels kind of move pretty quickly. We go quite back and forth between Carnage and Spider-Man. Like you get one page of what's happening with the Carnage party, and then one page of what's happening with Spider-Man, going back and forth pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Because we go to Demogoblin kind of arriving and, like we were saying, kind of whipping everyone's butt a little bit. And Carnage, and he's like, when I'm done killing you, I'm going to kill a bunch of other people too. And Carnage is like, man, if you want to kill sinners, people.
Yeah, because originally he was still looking for not Demogoblin. He was looking for Doppelganger.
Demogoblin was looking for Doppelganger.
Right. Yeah. He was looking for Doppelganger. But at the same time, like while all this shit was going on, Doppelganger, he didn't know whose side to actually go for. He didn't know if like, should I take Shriek's side, who's been like his surrogate mother, or should I go for Demogoblin? So he kind of
he stood on the fight. He
stood on the fence, yeah. And so they're like, we don't know what to do with this guy.
But the Sonic Blast did nothing. He threw a pumpkin bomb at her. Doppelganger stood on the sidelines, and even Carnage's symbiote wasn't any use against the Hellfire of Demogoblin.
Right.
So, but anyways, like I'm gonna go kill all the sinners after this, and Carnage's like, hey, if you want to kill people,
that's what we're doing. That's our bread and butter.
Us. Come on, if you want to
help us out,
kill more people. Come on, why not? And before we get the answer, we cut to back to Black Cat and Spider-Man, and she's telling him to join up with Venom. Like we were saying a second ago.
Right.
So we're popping back and forth. He's still got those moral quandaries, which again is just ridiculous.
So for Spider-Man, that's
not ridiculous. That's not fair.
For Spider-Man, that's kind of expected because, like, on one hand, you have so do I help Black Cat defend Venom, who is my enemy, and stop this guy, or do I also stop Venom, who is my enemy, and also stop this other enemy? So like,
but
it puts you in this weird middle ground. But that's Spider-Man though.
You can't do it. I'm sorry.
No. And honestly, I'm on Black Cat's side on this one. Like,
she's right. Like, class. Let's
listen, man. Like, we got to work together to stop this. The enemy of my enemy is my enemy, and that's where we're at right now. Because
the enemy
Black
of
Cat's
my
right.
Is my friend is what you mean.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
Potato, tomato.
Those aren't the same things. Carney and pals are about to go out on their little murder rampage for the night because Demogoblin decides to join them. But Cloak shows up because he's going to try and take him on by himself, even though he's got his ass whooped by Shriek the last time.
So horribly bad. But he shows up out of nowhere like, I'm ready to fight again, even though,
and then he just gets his ass whooped by Shriek.
You are not ready to fight again. I'm sorry, man. You are in no state to fight again.
No, he just gets his butt whooped all over again. But luckily, Venom is at this point in time, he's regained his strength. Black Cat is gone, and told him like, we're here to fight by your side. So we're here to join you. So our heroes for this time, Venom, Spider-Man, Black Cat, they hear the fighting going on with Cloak.
Right, because it took Shriek's blast from the Spider-Man to go, oh shit, there it is.
Well, Venom found it, I think.
No, Spider-Man did.
I had to go back and look at that.
Venom was like on top of a building somewhere.
Venom was in the foreground whenever it was like of the picture where it's like.
He was off to the side. Spider-Man side goes, oh, over here. And they all decided to go to it.
I'll go look at that again, but I'm pretty sure.
Spider-Man caught it. Yeah. Right. Spider-Man caught it. I saw it on the internet.
They show up, while Cloak's getting his butt whooped, and they join the fray, which Carnage is like, you know what? Not really worth it. So let's get the fuck on out of here and tear down the roof on the way out.
Yeah.
So they tear the roof off the place and cause the building to collapse and, set fire to the whole place. So they had that base all of like 2 hours.
Yeah. They had like no time. Apparently Shriek spent more time finding the place than they did living in it.
So yeah, the Cloak teleports his ass out of there like deuces, doesn't help any of the rest of the heroes. He just,
oh yeah, he helps nobody. He just disappears.
Yeah,
and the Spider-Man's like, where'd the Cloak go?
He's gone. He's like, Cloak. No, they just say Cloak already teleported out. So Spider-Man and Venom take off after Carnage and the rest of the guys. But Venom's like, oh, the flames weaken me. We're passing out. And they fall back towards the burning building.
Right. So Spider-Man's like, okay, well, I'm in this by myself. Then turns around and realizes, oh, Black Cat's missing.
Now you just see the hand in the rubble.
Yeah, you
like
see her
Super
hand,
Shredder.
her hand, yeah.
Like Super Shredder at the end of Ninja Turtles, too.
Oh, like Super Shredder. Oh, don't even talk about Ninja Turtles. Yeah, like Super Shredder.
Just the hand out.
Yeah.
So that's all we got. And unfortunately, Spider-Man is left. Our cliffhanger this time is him going, do I go back and rescue my friends and let Carnage go? Because he'll kill, but, or do I save him?
Right, but because it puts him in a situation of, do I save them and risk the lives of whoever else they're about to destroy?
Sorry, that's what I was trying to say poorly.
Versus, does he go and help them and let his friends die? So it's like, it puts him in a weird state, of who am I going to allow to die in this situation?
But again, Spider-Man trying to do everything on his own because he's like, if I don't go and follow Carnage and stop him now, then he's going to kill exponentially more people. But if I don't if I don't stop and save my friends, they'll die. But like, if he goes after them by himself, he's going to die anyway. He's just going to be like them. So it's one of those points where I guess it's one of the points of the story. He's got to let people in and let them help.
And that's the thing about Spider-Man as a whole, which is why so many people like him as it is, because he's always against the ropes, as you've put so many times, where it's like, who do you allow, to suffer? Because do you want your friends to suffer, or do you want people you may or may not know to suffer?
The community, the world as a whole.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's the state he's in right now. So it's like, do I go back for Black Cat, or do I continue by myself?
Venom. Venom. He's falling back towards the thing
like,
too.
Do I go by myself to stop the 4 of them?
And you're broke with your broken ribs. I mean,
yeah, he's still got broken ribs. Yeah. So do I go against the 4 of them by myself, injured, or do I come back and help my friends that are, under the rubble and can't handle the fire and so on and so forth? I mean, 3 against 4 is much better than 1 against 4, in my opinion. So,
well, 4 against 4 when Cloak decides to show up, play ball.
Yeah, when he decided to play ball, but
just don't pair him up against Shriek.
Nope. Nope, not
pair him up against Doppelganger, and then
so far Cloak is batting 0-2 at this point, so he doesn't get much of a
Venom
choice.
on Carnage. You put Spider-Man on Demogoblin.
Yes.
You put Cloak on Doppelganger, and you put Shriek on. You put Black Cat on Shriek.
Bam.
Done.
Check.
I don't know. We'll
Print.
See. We will see how it gets done.
Make it so.
We will see how it gets done. Though we got 10 more issues for them to figure it out.
Yep, we got a few more for them to go. So we'll see how it goes.
Figure it out.
Do it.
All right. That was Maximum Carnage Part 4. We will bring you Part 5 through 7, I think, next week. So be watching for those next week, guys. But like, subscribe, and say hi to your mother for me. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Bagged and Board. I am Vlad St. Valentine. Sitting next to me is Mr. Joseph Bowen. What's going on, brother?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I imagine you're doing great. You finished that whole bottle of whiskey.
All of it.
Impressive.
Yeah, half a bottle.
Yeah, that's impressive. Feeling okay?
Yes.
Yeah, I noticed you were getting a little handsy. You were trying to get your hands up my sarong earlier, which I'm not necessarily against, but time and place for everything, man.
I've spent so much time living in Hawaii that I'm totally fine to put my hands up a sarong or two, so it's fine.
I'm just saying, like, wait till we're recording for our OnlyFans so we can, try and exploit ourselves a little bit more for that sweet, sweet recognition. We're never going to get anything done.
Nothing. We're going over fast.
Sinking ship, ladies and gentlemen.
Maybe we shouldn't drink so much before we decide to do this. Oh, good golly, Miss Molly.